Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab.
It's great to be diving into language again.
Today, we're tackling another crucial set of 50 vocabulary words. These are terms you'll often see popping up on the GRE.
And our goal with this exploration really is to give you a strong grasp of these words. We want to go beyond just the definitions.
Right.
And really explore how they're used, why they matter in different situations.
Absolutely. We're aiming to make these, sometimes sophisticated terms, not just understandable, but really memorable. The idea is to help you boost your English proficiency for, academic and professional goals.
Definitely. So we'll be looking closely at each word. We'll give its meaning, show it in a sentence, and crucially, connect it to everyday scenarios you might actually run into.
Okay, let's jump in. First up, anomaly.
Anomaly.
The definition is a deviation from what's common, an inconsistency. Think about, say, weather data. If you suddenly get a really cold day smack in the middle of July, well, that's an anomaly.
That's a perfect example. And, thinking about data analysis, maybe an unusual spike in website traffic. That's an anomaly.
Okay.
A company wouldn't just note it down, they'd need to dig deeper, right? Is it like a great marketing campaign paying off, or is there maybe a technical glitch happening?
Right, it's that outlier that makes you pause and ask, wait, what's going on here? Like maybe a tiny online store suddenly gets thousands of orders. Could be a viral hit or maybe some fishy.
Good point. The key is recognizing those odd ones out.
Okay, next, antagonize.
Yeah.
This is a verb.
Meaning to make someone hostile or unfriendly.
We've probably all seen this happen, unfortunately. Like in a meeting, if someone keeps making sarcastic comments, that's almost bound to antagonize people and just sour the mood.
Oh, certainly. Or think about customer service. A representative acting, condescending, that can antagonize a customer really fast. Turns a small problem into a big complaint.
Yeah, definitely. The tip here is maybe practice empathy. Try to see things from the other side to avoid, making enemies.
Good advice.
Moving on to antidate. It means to be older than something else, preceded in time, or even assign an earlier date to something.
Right. Think archaeology. Maybe some fossils are found, and they antedate the human settlements previously thought to be the oldest in that region.
Oh, so it changes the timeline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And practically, you might antedate a contract. Say you agreed on terms in May, but only signed the paper in June. You might date it back to May.
To reflect the actual agreement date.
Precisely. So the learner tip, think backdating.
Okay. Next is antithetical, an adjective.
Meaning directly opposed, the complete opposite.
Like minimalist versus lavish lifestyles. Those seem pretty antithetical.
They really are. Or in politics, the idea of free trade versus really strict protectionist tariffs, those are antithetical economic approaches.
So the tip is maybe look for these contrasting ideas in debates or arguments. They often highlight opposing views.
That's a great way to spot it.
Now for apathy. It's a noun.
Apathy. Just not caring. An absence of feeling, lack of interest or concern.
You see this sometimes with low voter turnout, right?
Yeah.
Suggests a degree of apathy towards the election.
That's a classic example. Or maybe a community cleanup drive that fails because, nobody's really interested. That's apathy in action.
Yeah, it can really stall things. The tip, maybe. Find a personal connection to issues. Makes it harder to be apathetic.
True. Getting involved helps.
Okay, next is apocryphal. This one's an adjective.
Apocryphal, meaning of questionable authenticity. Basically, likely false, even if it's a well-known story.
Like the story about George Washington and the cherry tree. Often considered apocryphal.
Exactly. Or, those unverified celebrity rumors that spread like wildfire online. Definitely apocryphal. They can cause real misinformation problems.
So the learning point is crucial today. Question stories, check your sources. Don't just accept things that sound, too good or too weird to be true.
Absolutely critical thinking.
Next up, apostate, a noun.
An apostate is someone who deserts a party, a cause, a religion, something that previously believed in.
Like a politician who suddenly switches parties right before an election. Their old party might call them an apostate.
Yes, definitely. Or someone leaving a religious faith they were raised in. They might be seen as an apostate by that community.
Kind of like a defector, maybe?
That's a good way to think about it. Someone who's changed sides or renounced their former beliefs.
Okay, and then we have apostle, also a noun.
Right, an apostle is a pioneer of a reform movement. Or historically, one of Jesus's early followers, of course.
So in a modern sense, maybe a passionate advocate for sustainable living. Someone really pioneering that cause.
Sure. Or think of Greta Thunberg. You could certainly see her as an apostle of climate activism, inspiring so many people.
Ah, I see. So the tip is to associate apostle with passionate leaders or early champions of a cause.
Spot on.
Next word. Apposite. That's A-P-P-O-S-I-T-E. Adjective.
Apposite means highly appropriate, suitable, or relevant. Really fitting.
Okay, so imagine a team just had a big communication breakdown. A speech about the importance of teamwork right after that would be very apposite.
Perfect example. Or in academic writing, finding that really apposite quote that just perfectly supports your point, that strengthens your argument immensely.
Like it's spot on for this situation.
Exactly. Think spot on or perfectly fitting.
Okay. Next. Apprise. A verb.
To apprise someone is to inform them, to give them notice.
Like a manager apprising the team of new safety protocols.
Yes. Or, in an emergency, authorities might apprise residents of evacuation plans. It's about giving important information.
So connect it with update or notify.
Good connection.
Then there's approbation. Noun.
Approbation means praise or approval, often formal approval.
Like a novel receiving critical acclaim and winning awards. That's getting approbation.
Right, or getting formal commendation from your boss for doing a great job on a project. That's approbation in a professional setting.
So think official recognition, formal praise.
That's the core idea.
Now, appropriate. This one can be tricky, right? It's often an adjective, but here it's a verb.
Yes, the verb form is key. It can mean to set aside or authorize money for a specific purpose.
Like Congress appropriating funds for infrastructure.
Exactly. But it also means to take something for one's own use, often improperly or without permission.
Like appropriating someone else's idea and passing it off as your own.
Right. The first meaning is allocation, like budgeting. The second is more like, well, taking or seizing, sometimes unethically.
So the tip is crucial. Distinguish the verb meaning allocate from the verb meaning take without right.
Definitely need to watch the context for that one.
Next, arbiter, noun.
An arbiter is basically a judge or umpire, someone empowered to decide matters in a dispute.
Like in a team project where there's disagreement, maybe a manager acts as the arbiter to resolve it.
Sure. Or think of the UN sometimes acting as an arbiter in international conflicts. They try to mediate and find solutions.
Like a neutral referee.
Good analogy.
Okay, arcane, adjective.
Arcane means known or understood by only a few people. Obscure, secret, mysterious.
Like a lecture on, ancient runes. The details might seem arcane to most people.
Absolutely. Or the inner workings of quantum computing. Very few people truly grasp that. It's specialized, esoteric knowledge.
So link it with mysterious or highly specialized.
That works well.
Then archaic. Adjective again?
Archaic means characteristic of an earlier period. Ancient, primitive, outdated.
Like finding a law still on the books that requires ballots to be handwritten, that would be archaic.
Definitely. Or using words like thou or hath in everyday conversation. Those are archaic forms. Even using a typewriter in, say, 2025 would feel pretty archaic.
Right. Think museums, old stuff. Next, ardent. Adjective.
Ardent means very passionate, devoted, or enthusiastic.
Like an ardent supporter of animal rights who volunteers constantly.
Exactly. Or ardent sports fans who live and breathe their team. Or someone who's an ardent hobbyist completely dedicated to, say, model trains or gardening.
Intense dedication, got it.
That's the feeling.
Okay.
Arduous.
Adjective.
Arduous means very difficult, strenuous, severe, hard to endure.
Climbing Mount Everest sounds incredibly arduous.
Undeniably. But also, preparing for a major exam like the GRE can feel quite arduous. Lots of effort over a long time.
Or think about a single parent working multiple jobs just to get by. That's an arduous life.
It is. So the tip, think exhausting challenges, things requiring immense effort.
Right. Next up, arrogate. Verb.
Arrogate means to claim or take something presumptuously without having the right to do so.
Like a manager overstepping their authority and making decisions they're not supposed to make.
Yes, that's arrogating authority. Or historically, colonial powers sometimes arrogated land. On a smaller scale, someone arrogating credit for work the whole team did.
So it's about overstepping boundaries, taking what isn't yours.
Precisely.
Okay, articulate. This can be an adjective or a verb.
Right. As an adjective, it means using language clearly and fluently. An articulate speaker.
Like someone who gives a captivating presentation with really clear arguments.
Exactly. And as a verb, it means to speak distinctly or to clarify something. A teacher needs to articulate complex concepts clearly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So being articulate is important in job interviews, teaching, Lots of areas.
Very much so. The tip: practice speaking and writing clearly.
Good practical advice. Next, artifact, noun.
An artifact is an object made by humans, especially one from an earlier time, often has historical or cultural significance.
Like a Bronze Age stone tool you see in a museum.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Or ancient pottery shards dug up by archaeologists. Even something like a vintage typewriter could be considered an artifact in the future.
So, visualize things in history museums.
That helps cement the idea.
Now, artless, adjective. This one seems to have two sides.
It does. It can mean free of deceit, natural, genuine, like someone with an artless charm.
Sincere, straightforward.
Right. But it can also mean lacking skill or knowledge, crude, unpolished.
Like a child's drawing might be artless in the sense of being unskilled, but it's also genuine. Or maybe an artless presentation at work. Sincere, maybe, but not very professional.
Exactly. So context is key. It can be endearing sincerity or just unpolished work. Think unpolished, but sometimes in a good way.
Okay, interesting nuance. Next, ascertain, verb.
To ascertain means to find something out with certainty, to confirm or verify.
Like a detective working to ascertain the cause of a fire.
Yes. Or scientists running trials to ascertain a drug's effectiveness. Even just checking with a friend to ascertain if they're free on Friday.
So link it with confirm or verify, making sure.
That's the essence.
Then ascetic can be an adjective or a noun.
Right. As an adjective, it describes a lifestyle that's abstinent, austere, self-disciplined, without luxuries. As a noun, it's a person living that way.
Like a monk living in a bare cell, focused on spiritual practice, not material things.
Classic example. Or maybe an environmentalist living off-grid, avoiding consumerism. That's a kind of modern asceticism.
So picture monks or minimalists living very simply.
That captures it.
Okay, ascribe, verb.
To ascribe something is to assign or credit it to a certain cause or source, basically to attribute it.
Like you might ascribe your success to hard work.
Yes. Or scholars might ascribe an anonymous poem to a particular author based on style. Or you might, ascribe your bad mood to not getting enough sleep.
So think attribute.
Exactly.
Aseptic, adjective.
Aseptic means free from germs or harmful microorganisms. Sterile.
Crucial in surgery, right? Surgeons need an aseptic operating room.
Absolutely paramount. Also used in food packaging, aseptic packaging keeps food sterile without refrigeration. And in labs, of course.
So associated with sterile environments. Clean, germ-free.
That's it.
Okay, asperity, noun.
Asperity has a few related meanings. Rigor or severity, harshness of tone, or even roughness of a surface.
So if someone snaps at you during an interview with real asperity in their voice,
Yeah.
that's harshness of tone.
Yes. Or a teacher's asperity when scolding a student. It can also refer to the physical asperity of, say, a rough cliff face.
So think sharp tone or sharp texture. Severity.
Good way to link them.
Next, aspersions, usually used in the plural.
Yes, aspersions are damaging remarks, defamation, slander, attacks on someone's reputation.
Like politicians casting aspersions on their rivals' integrity during a campaign.
Very common, unfortunately. Or spreading rumors, aspersions about a colleague's work ethic to make them look bad.
So basically harmful gossip or slander.
That's the idea, damaging someone's name.
Okay. Then assail, verb.
To assail is to attack violently or vigorously. Can be physical or verbal.
So a journalist might assail unethical government practices in a critical article.
Yes, a strong verbal attack. Or a debater might assail their opponent's argument with counter-evidence. Or literally, a storm could assail the coast.
So picture an aggressive attack.
Forceful.
Next, assiduous.
Yeah.
Adjective.
Assiduous means persevering, diligent, constant, really hardworking and persistent, like someone preparing assiduously for the GRE, studying every day.
Perfect example. Or an assiduous student who always reviews their notes, or an assiduous entrepreneur constantly following up on leads.
Relentless, careful effort.
Got it. Link with relentless effort.
Right.
Okay, assuage, verb.
To assuage means to make something milder, to relieve, soothe, or calm, often used for feelings like fear, grief, or guilt. Like a manager trying to assuage the team's fears about potential layoffs by being transparent.
Yes, easing their worries. Or a sincere apology can help assuage hurt feelings after an argument. Clear communication during a crisis can assuage panic,
So think easing pain or worry.
making things less intense.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, attenuate, verb.
Attenuate means to weaken, reduce in force or intensity, or thin out.
Like medication might attenuate the effects of a virus, make it less severe.
Exactly. Or audio engineers might attenuate loud sounds in a recording. Even time can attenuate grief, making it less intense, though not erasing it.
So picture diluting or reducing intensity.
That's a good visual.
Okay, attuned, adjective.
Attuned means being in harmony with something or in a sympathetic relationship, being aware and responsive.
Like a therapist who is attuned to a patient's unspoken emotions.
Yes, very sensitive to them. Or a teacher attuned to their students' needs, adjusting lessons accordingly. Or a band playing perfectly attuned, in sync.
So being in tune with something.
Good way to remember it.
Next word, audacious, adjective.
Audacious means very bold or brave, often in a way that's seen as rude or reckless. It can also mean extremely original or inventive.
Like starting a business with zero experience. That seems pretty audacious.
It definitely is. Or think of Elon Musk's project sending rockets to Mars. Audacious goals. Or boundary-pushing fashion design can be audacious.
So daring, maybe innovative, sometimes crossing lines.
Captures the range well. Link with daring innovation or bold moves.
All right, augment, verb.
To augment is simply to make larger, to increase or supplement.
Like augmenting your income by doing some freelancing on the side.
Exactly. Or developers augmenting an app by adding new features. Or augmenting your resume by adding volunteer experience.
So just adding to or boosting something.
That's it.
Okay, augury, noun.
Augury refers to telling the future, often through signs, omens, or supernatural means. An omen itself can also be called an augury.
Like ancient priests interpreting bird flight as an augury.
Yes, that's a classic example from history. Today, maybe economic forecasts are seen as a kind of modern augury, or some superstitions function as auguries for people.
So associate with omens or predictions. Then August, A-U-G-U-S-T, adjective.
August means venerable, majestic, inspiring admiration or reverence. Dignified.
Like the august architecture of a grand old cathedral.
Definitely. Or a respected institution like, say, Harvard University might be described as august, or a revered elder in a community.
So picture grand or dignified, inspiring respect.
That's the feeling.
Next, austere, adjective.
Austere means severe in manner or appearance, self-disciplined, without luxury or comfort, simple, plain.
Like minimalist office decor could be described as austere.
Yes, very plain and functional. Or a writer living in an austere cabin to focus. It can also apply to things like austere budget cuts, severe reductions.
So, linked with strict simplicity, no frills.
Exactly.
Okay, autonomous,
Yeah.
adjective.
Autonomous means self-governing, independent, able to act on its own.
Like an autonomous region within a country, setting its own laws.
That's a key example.
Ah.
Or we talk about autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars. Or a freelancer has an autonomous schedule.
Self-ruling, independent.
That's the core idea.
Next up, avarice, noun.
Avarice is insatiable greed, especially for wealth. A miserly desire to hoard wealth, extreme greediness.
Like someone exploiting workers just to maximize profit. That seems driven by avarice.
It often is. Or refusing to share resources even when you have plenty. It's depicted negatively as extreme selfishness regarding wealth.
So picture extreme greed, hoarding wealth.
That's avarice.
Okay, aver, verb.
To aver means to declare or affirm something with confidence, to state strongly that it's true.
Like asserting confidently that you'll complete a project on time. You aver it.
Yes. Or a witness testifying in court might aver that they saw something happen. A confident student might aver their answer.
So link it with assert or declare confidently.
Good connection.
And avid, adjective.
Avid means enthusiastic, dedicated, passionate, showing keen interest. Sometimes implies being excessively desirous, but usually just very enthusiastic.
Like an avid reader who reads constantly.
Yes, or an avid gamer, an avid gardener, an avid sports fan, someone deeply committed to and enthusiastic about something.
Deep commitment, enthusiasm. Next, axiom, noun.
An axiom is a self-evident truth that requires no proof. A universally accepted principle or rule.
Like in math, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. That's an axiom.
Right. Or a basic ethical principle like treat others as you want to be treated could be considered an axiom. Even common sayings like actions speak louder than words function like axioms.
So think of obvious rules or fundamental truths.
That's it.
Okay, balk, B-A-L-K, verb.
To balk means to refuse to proceed or do something, to hesitate or show unwillingness.
Like an employee might balk at being asked to work overtime without pay.
Definitely. Or a horse might balk at jumping over a fence. A buyer might balk at a ridiculously high price. A shy person might balk at public speaking.
So picture hesitating, stopping short, refusing.
That captures the feeling.
Next, balloon as a verb.
Right, the verb balloon means to swell or puff out, or more commonly in GRE contexts, to increase rapidly.
Like company expenses might balloon after launching a big ad campaign.
Yes, increase quickly. Or inflation can cause prices to balloon. Personal debt can balloon if you're not careful with interest.
Visualize expanding quickly.
Good mental image.
Okay, banal, adjective.
Banal means lacking freshness and originality. Cliché, trite, commonplace, boring.
Like a movie with a really predictable, seen it a million times plot. That would be banal.
Exactly. Or using overused phrases in writing makes it sound banal. Generic social media posts can feel banal too.
So spot repetitive, unoriginal ideas.
That's the key.
Then vain, noun.
The bane of something is a cause of great distress or annoyance, something that ruins or spoils.
Like procrastination can be the bane of academic success for some students.
A very common example. Or pests can be the bane of farmers destroying crops. A toxic relationship could be the bane of someone's happiness.
So think of a curse or a persistent problem, a source of ruin.
That gets the meaning across.
Okay, base, adjective, B-A-S-E.
Base as an adjective means morally low, mean dishonorable. It can also mean of little value or crude counterfeit.
So acting out of base motives means acting selfishly or dishonorably, like lying for personal gain.
Yes. Or a base imitation is a cheap, low-quality copy. It implies lowliness, either morally or in terms of quality.
Link with lowly or shameful, dishonorable.
That covers it.
Next, baying, verb, usually the inging form.
Baying is the sound of deep howling, typically associated with hounds or wolves.
Like hounds baying at the moon in a movie.
Exactly that sound. Or you might describe a crowd chanting angrily as baying for something, like baying for blood or justice, metaphorically.
Imagine the sound of wolves or hounds howling.
That's the sound.
Okay, belie,
Yeah.
verb, B-E-L-I-E.
To belie means to contradict or misrepresent, to give a false impression of something.
So someone's calm demeanor might belie their inner anxiety.
Yes, the calmness hides the truth. Or a polished resume could belie a lack of actual experience. Sunny weather might belie an approaching storm.
So it's about hiding the truth, contradicting the appearance.
Correct. The appearance doesn't match the reality.
And finally, for this set, beneficent, adjective.
Beneficent means doing good, performing acts of kindness or charity. Generous.
Like a beneficent organization that provides free meals to those in need.
Perfect example. Or donating to disaster relief is a beneficent act. A beneficent mentor is one who generously helps others develop.
So link it with benevolent, kind actions, doing good.
Exactly. Focused on the good deeds.
And wow, that's our 50 words for this deep dive. We've reached the end of this exploration.
We really have. Hopefully this closer look has not only, clarified the meanings, but also shown how these words actually work out in the real world.
Absolutely. And remember, everyone, truly getting these words down, it involves actively using them. Try them out in your own speaking and writing.
That's right. Keep an ear out for them when you're reading or listening. And, don't be shy about weaving them into your own conversations or writing when it feels natural.
Your journey to expand your English lexicon, your vocabulary, it's an ongoing process, and we're definitely here to support you along the way.
Keep practicing.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, please do like this video, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to the Learn English Lab YouTube channel for more valuable language learning content.
Thanks for tuning in.